Well, 'tis the season for asking the question if you should be selling your house next year. Yes, that's what happens in the fall. I love the fall. I hope you do too. Here in Virginia, in Northern Virginia, we have Charlottesville Mountains not too far away where we can go apple picking. We have water activities to be able to get out on the water in the fall. We have farms, yes, farms that still have tons of pumpkins, pumpkin patches to be able to go enjoy the outdoors. But of course, every single restaurant has something pumpkin apple spice, which I don't necessarily love pumpkin and apple spice, but I love the smell of it. And I love the fall. I love the seasons. And sellers love the fall too, because they get to dream about next year. Because the reality is sellers are thinking, one, should I sell next year or should I buy next year? But what's neat about them asking that question in the fall is, it's not a heavy lift right this second. They can say, I want to do this without feeling like they actually have to start doing anything at the moment. And I think this is a great time to start planning and dreaming about what you may want to do next year. And so when I have friends and clients say, hey, Sean, I think I want to sell next year, they're typically thinking about the springtime. And I always like asking them this question: what is important about the spring? And they tell me their thoughts. A lot of times it's simply because that's when the tulips are coming up, or that's simply because when their grass is looking green, or it's just simply because that's when everybody sells, right? That's sometimes their reasons. And I always like asking them this question: well, if I were to tell you that you may make more money if you were to sell before the spring, do you want to know that? The reason I ask them that question is because a lot of times eh, a lot of times folks, they need to sell at a certain time because kids are in school. They don't want to move their kids before the summer. And so if they put their home on the market in that April, May timeframe, they get to close in the summer, and it's just a lot easier. And honestly, if the convenience factor is needed, then just choose the convenience factor as you time. But if your goal is to make the most amount of money, I always like to encourage my sellers to consider the pre-spring market. Now, the pre-spring market is typically end of February, beginning of March. Now, you might be wondering, why would we encourage them to consider the pre-spring market? Well, the reality is what are buyers doing over the holidays? They're sitting and they're dreaming. They're dreaming about next year. They're thinking about buying a house next year. And come turn January, they're starting to get their pre approvals in. All right. They're pre approved, but there's no homes on the market, right? In January. And who wants to get out in January? There's snow on the ground. It's really cold, right? They just enjoyed the holiday season. But come February, something happens with buyers. They start getting antsy. They're kind of ready for the winter to be done, right? They're kind of, football season is coming to an end. Everything feels like spring is coming. Do you know that feeling? Like I'm excited about the spring time. Well, that starts happening at the end of February. So imagine you as a seller, you have your home fully ready for the market, and you go on the market February 20th. Well, you're not competing against many people, are you? No, you're not competing against many. But when your home looks beautiful and is priced right and is marketed well, guess what? You get buyers to come out because buyers haven't seen any other homes like that yet. And statistically, you can often sell your home for more in the pre spring market than you can in the spring market because inventory is low. You don't have competition. Because if you wait until the spring, you're going to have 5 other houses come on the market. And guess what? You're going to have to price yours based upon how they're pricing theirs, right? But in February, you don't have to make that decision. Sometimes you can actually be the one to choose the price. Now, here is the key though. If you are wanting to hit the pre spring market, the reality is you're going to have maybe snow on the ground when you're preparing your home for the market. You're going to have cold. You're not going to have any leaves on the trees. The grass is not going to look green. The exterior photos don't look amazing when you put your home on the market in February. So, what do? You prepare now. So, this is why I like to encourage my sellers who are wanting to hit the pre spring market to actually prepare their house for the market now. Only the exterior, though. All right. Don't worry about it. You can still put up your Christmas trees in Christmas, do all the holidays. Don't worry about the inside, but worry about the exterior. And so, what many of our sellers are doing right now as we speak is they are preparing their exterior for sale, right? Because the reality is the home looks so much better. Let me share with you this house that a client of ours just got their photos. So they're going to be putting their home on the market in the end of February. But the reality is they just got their exterior photos done. And look at it. It looks gorgeous. You see the green grass, you see the green trees around it. And even as you take a closer look, right? You see emotion, right? You get the fire pit, you get the coziness, right? You got the deck, you have the fire pit. A lot of times you're not really looking and doing that in February, but this really gives a wonderful, exciting feel for what this home could actually entertain and give opportunity for the next buyer. You can see the colors of the flowers actually pop right here in the fall. And so imagine looking at this picture in February when there's no leaves on the ground. Or I'm sorry, there's no leaves on the trees. You have brown grass. There's no flowers. Everything is just gray and dreary. But when your home comes on the market in February with these exterior photos, buyers get excited for what this home has. And so, right when you're thinking about it, you don't have to think about working on the inside. You just get the exterior done right now, right? So they don't have any photos of the inside yet. They've done their interior staging consultation, but they don't really have to worry about doing anything until come January timeframe, because that's when we can do the interior photos, right? When we're preparing the home. But right now, folks get to see the exterior, which is really beautiful. People get to be excited about what the home is going to offer, for them. So, what I want to encourage you, if you are a seller that is thinking about spring, think about, do you really want to go spring or do you want to go pre spring if you want to make a little bit more money? So make that decision. But if you do make that decision that you want to go pre spring, you need to start getting your photos done now, exterior photos done now. I hope I made that point clear, right? Actually do the exterior work now, so that you are ready to hit the market in the end of February. I hope this was helpful for you as you're making your decisions about your 2025 goals. Let me know if you need to chat or if you have any questions.